918 here, 3v3, Argus Desert Gate, blue team. It's Osinski with a Warboss, angry melee commander that walks through cover, good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Alongside, Patbadger's Plague Champion starts off range combat with this damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, good defense, offense and utility, can build turrets and repair but lacks mobility. And rounding us out on the blue team is Illethor's Kommando Knob, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up Orky style. Red team, NoisyElmo is a Lord General, fights ranged with this retinue to help him out, which you can add to throughout the game. Start off with 2 Stormtroopers, very good defense and support abilities. Alongside Sam is a Force Commander, offensive melee, very versatile though, can tank, disrupt and support with buffs. And rounding us out is Adila with an Eldar Farseer, support commander that fights melee, very good support abilities, buffs, debuffs for her opponent as well, and some good control abilities as well. She will be on the west side up against the Warboss. Looks like both Patbadger and Sam are pushing mid early game, which doesn't happen often on this map. Usually one player will push mid, or maybe no players will push mid, and all 4 commanders will come to the top, where this contested VP is also a natural for red south, natural for blue north. Lord General looks like he's going to take this east side, forcing the Orks back to the mid to help out Patbadger. Has some Nurgle worship here, providing health regen to these Chaos Space Marines. Not a huge amount, but it does really help. Plague Champion also coming back into worship range. Force Commander runs away. Tactical Marines in heavy cover here, but here comes Sluggers. In amongst the Tactical Marines now, double shooters helping out, and there's a War to buff all of these Orks. Forcing off the Tactical Marines, can't get a model off them, but did take 2 models off the Scouts and very nearly got a model for Tactical Marines. A good opening for blue team in mid. Meanwhile though, they've lost their node top, and the Sentinel decap this wreck point, a tier 1 vehicle that can decap points but cannot cap them. Protects guardsmen from nasty melee units with its stomp. West side, Osinski doing well, first engagement versus Adila, who has Howling Banshees, and now some Rangers on the way. Sam going for some Assault Marines, Osinski for some Storm Boys. NoisyElmo already has a heavy weapon squad on the field with a heavy bolter by default. This multi-last turret is being shot out of its firing arc by double shooters, but the guardsmen are repairing. Looks like they can keep up with the health loss as well. Sentinel gets its ground pound upgrade, 50 requisition and 15 power for ground pound and a 100 health buff. Heavy weapon squad is there now. They're gonna set up, are they? There we go. Double shooters forced off though. Red team doing very well up top. They might want to push again. Patbadger has the center locked down with this Havoc, some Zeech worship, some Nurgle worship, and Chaos Space Marines. Havoc's armed with a heavy bolter. These guys will suppress very quickly from any range in their firing arc, much more so than any other setup team really. They all have their slight advantages and disadvantages. Havocs don't do quite as much damage. Rangers are here, need to run away. Storm Boys, very aggressive opening from Osinski, almost wiping his Rangers here. In fact, he might. Sluggers are chasing, can they get a chop? Storm Boys tumbling after them, but they do get away. A lucky escape from Adila, but now his power is getting hit again. 454, 474. 1-to-1 cat. Very strange game so far. Both teams pushing very hard on flanks in opposite directions. Blue team look like they have control of mid though quite nicely. Havoc is still here. Pain Boy on the field for Illethor. Tier 1 support sub-commander for Orks. Actually does 40 DPS power melee damage with some damage over time as well. Has a heal ability. Small upfront heal and then a bunch of health regen afterwards. Can be upgraded in tier 2 to make that heal better. Havoc suppressing the Lord General and his guardsmen. He might want to get that armor that I always forget the name of, which breaks suppression for the Lord General. With weapon team As you can see, taking much longer to suppress compared to the Havocs, but they did do it in the end. 444-473. There's a war from the Orks. Force Commander in amongst with his battle cry. No, he's not used it. That was just a normal special attack. There is the battle cry. He will now do special attack for the next 10 seconds and be immune to knockback, weapon knockback in a way. 444-462. Here come Howling Banshees now with their power melee weapons, knocking down 2 Shooter Boy squads with their special attacks. Storm Boys jumping in though. Really nice uses of them. By Osinski, and Banshees are gonna wipe in retreat, surely. No. 5 hit points and they get away. They have aspects of fleetness which might have saved them there because they could leap over this cover. 444-447. Heavy weapon squad again. Blue team have absolutely no presence on this east side at all. Lost their natural as well. Sentinel in trouble though. Stomps the Havoc. Can it get away from the shooters? It can. Chaos Space Marines and Plague Champion also chasing it down there. Now the heavy weapon squad trying to suppress stuff. Kommando throws his stun bomb and stuns the heavy weapon squad. Here comes some Orks. Pain Boy will tie it up in melee now. Sentinel getting repairs. Guardsmen not facing the right way to fire back as they do repair. 405-447. Heavy weapon squad loses the model. Meanwhile, west side, Sam supporting Linden's pushback. Howling Banshees bashing a node. Need to try and hit this power, I think, here. 393-447. Steal this Nurgle worship mid. Patbadger has camped mid the whole game. Here comes Assault Marines though, jumping on the Havocs, jump troops that disrupt when they land. Awesome for countering setup teams and ranged teams in general. Patbadger now has a Blood Crusher, and that is a pretty early Blood Crusher. Adila is not even tier 2 yet. This could be very dangerous. Artillery spotters on the field for NoisyElmo. Very good setup team counter. Can even counter, or at least help you counter 2 setup teams by themselves with the smoke shell and then the mortar shell, or vice versa. Sentinel taken down there by Orks, who are now shooting up gens. Assault Marines jump in and scare them off, exploding a Sentinel husk as they do so. Force Commander chasing down the Pain Boy now, who is getting his stronger Gitchos. Only 50-20 also automatically unlocks the unstable fuel injection ability in tier 2, which detonates an allied Ork to deal some area of effect damage. I think it knocks back as well, I'm not sure about that. 375-447. Here comes a Blood Crusher. A demon with vehicle armor, it's actually a Bloodletter riding a Juggernaut. Very good mobility, decent damage to all targets as well, but only 600 hit points. For a melee vehicle, it can go down very quickly to hard anti-vehicle, but of course has the huge advantage of worship, boosting its health and energy regeneration. 359-447. Sluggers with Swampum and a Knob Leader, giving them that ability. No sign of their burners though. Lord General here starts off with a bolter which he wields one-handed because he has a bionic arm, as you can see. Otherwise it would break his arm off. Havoc's set up mid. No pressure on this VP by blue team. That's a mistake, I think. Sam again is helping out Linden on the west side. Sorry, Adila on the west side. I've been calling him Linden. Good grief. 357-440. It's Adila on the west side. Orc Spider squad on the field now, teleporting infantry with good range damage to other infantry. Also help you deal with vehicles with their Haywire Grenade. Warboss has his big scary Power Claw and a Boss Pole, 95 DPS, heavy melee weapon. That thing hurts. Blood Crusher is relieved. It's on the same team as that Power Claw. Force Commander with no war gear at all for Sam. Level 2 though. Assault Squad get away without a loss. No, they don't. Here comes a Dreadnought for Sam. Walker vehicle for Space Marines. Blood Crusher. needs to get the hell out of here. Cannot take on a Dreadnought. I don't think it even can with Worship support. So it definitely can't all by itself. You have Marco Zinchka Space Marines. Fully upgraded with Eternal War as well. West side is kicking off. The Plague Champion is here helping out. Howling Banshees with their Exarchs, Storm Boys and Sluggers getting out of that War Truck mode. These Banshees have had a torrid time going up against the Orc melee. 357, 396, 2-1 for blue. Stern Guard veterans on the field for Sam. 1st Company Tactical Marines can change their ammo type to fight all targets. At the moment they have their Vengeance rounds loaded in. Good versus vehicles and a bit too good at the moment versus infantry. That will be looked at for the next update, I think. Here comes Sluggers. The counter for Stern Guard is a solid melee squad, and even these Sluggers with their Nog Leader doing some serious damage. There is Emperor's Fist from the Dreadnought though. Sluggers cannot do anything to a Dreadnought and need to run away. Here comes the Warboss, and he doesn't want to fight the Dreadnought with 261 hit points. Gonna die here. Down he goes. Dreadnought inspiring nearby allies, but there's nothing close enough to inspire. Bloodcrusher now over here. Patbadger's used this thing quite well so far. Needs to steer clear of the Dreadnought though. Gets a hit in. You cannot get rear armor hits on a Bloodcrusher. 344, 381. Sluggers using War to chase down the scouts. These guys have shotguns though, and there is the shotgun blast. Somebody's choosing to jump about 10 feet there. 335, 381. Heavy Weapons Squad has its sergeant, gives them this shield, stops them being knocked back, and I think reduces range damage slightly. Not too sure about that though. Weird Boy getting a shot in. Big damage to the Chimera there. Patbadger going for his usual build. Plague Fist, Armour of Pestilence, most likely the Icon of Nurgle as well. There's a stun bomb from the Kommando Nog. Chimera taking tons of damage from that Weird Boy's attack. Needs to back off and does. And NoisyElmo in all sorts of trouble. Here comes Sam to support a bit too late. Assault Squad don't even have their sergeant yet. They do have a melter bomb though. Chimera now getting repairs. Scouts pitching in with those repairs. Plague Champion now going after those Assault Squad with that Plague Fist. Very good melee counter with the Pestilent Strike. Dreadnought being aggressive though and going after that Plague Champion forces him off. Force Commando's here, still with no war gear. Now the Dreadnought goes after the Bloodcrusher. The Bloodcrusher has Worship support but cannot go toe to toe with that Dreadnought. 291, 381. It's a 2-to-1 cap for red. Adila now doing much better on the west side. Got his name right this time as well. Howling Banshees breaking the generator down. The node will also go down. Osinski has some tank busters, though I'm not sure why. Adila does not have a vehicle. Maybe he is getting ready for a Fire Prism in tier 3. We do have another Guardian Weapon team on the way. Patbadger floating tons of requisition now. Almost 900. The Dreadnought has changed to an Assault Cannon. Very good single target infantry damage. Also has that awesome barrage ability that you just saw there. This thing will also suppress as well. All round a very good ranged weapon upgrade for the Dreadnought. 236, 381 is a triple cap for red. Plague Champion level 2 coming in up against these Ogrins. Super heavy infantry, these Ogrins. Very good line break unit with their bonehead leader at the front there. Also do heavy melee damage, so they rip apart that Bloodcrusher pretty quickly, but they are in retreat. And this Dreadnought is going down, taking las cannon shots from this Havoc. Nicely done from Patbadger, takes it down. 191, 381. That's how easy it is to overextend a walker, especially in 3v3, where shots are coming from anywhere from 2 or more players. Melter Bomb, Stormtroopers, such an effective anti-vehicle unit with melter guns, melter bomb and infiltration, but they are forced off here. Pestilent Strike saving the Plague Champion with the awesome range damage resistance it gives. Not sure how much resistance it is, but it's a hell of a lot. 156381. 2-1 cat. Adila has been forced off the west side. He has a webway gate there though. Someone almost dropped apparently. 149381. Assault squad getting a heal there, did they? Must have been given a medical pack from the Lord General, but they are forced off. Blood Crusher and Stick Bombers in there. Get away with 2 models. Lord General with his melter guns. 135381. Fierce fighting on the east side. Force Commander runs away. Almost level 3. How often do you see a Force Commander in tier 2 with no war gear at all? Here come Ogrins knocking the stuff over left and right. Now in amongst these Osinski Space Marines. Here comes the Blood Crusher with worship support. Ogrins in trouble, down to 3 models and need to retreat. Need a bit more backup than that. Stern Guard with Vengeance rounds loaded in. What's going on west side? Adila moving back out. Osinski is coming to help, but now turns to engage Adila. There's the Tank Buster barrage, disrupting the Banshees very, very well there, using Tank Busters to counter Banshees. But look at this, it's the Gravity Blade from Adila. Grenades being thrown in as well. Such an awesome control ability. Hangs things in the air, then throws them out for damage. And all of this stuff having to retreat off. She is fully kitted out. Also has Armor of Fortune and the Runes of Reaping. Really nice accessory, underused I think. 95381, 2-1 cap for red. Looking very strong right now. Sam did lose that Dreadnought, but he's gone tier 3. War truck being chased down. Everything trying to take it down. Warboss trying to help out. Big smack on the Farseer there. She's level 3. Has 844 hit points with the Armor of Fortune up. Warp Spiders don't want to get into melee with him. There's a special attack. 93381. Blue team gearing up for an offensive on the east side I think. Patbadger looks like he has set up shop here with some Nurgle worship. No, he's moving back mid. 93381. Zap is on the Lord General. Not sure who it jumped to, no one. He does have the Sergeant retinue member and the Commissar retinue member there. He's missing one of his Stormtroopers though. Here come Ogrins. Can they finish off the Stick Bombers? They can. 84381, 2-1 cap for red. Patbadger now has some Chaos Terminators though. Super heavy infantry that can teleport. Demoralize enemies with each kill. Reducing their damage of everyone around them. Twin Link Bolters and Power Fists. They can get Lightning Claws and an awesome autocannon as well. This webway gate is still here. Storm Boys with their Nob Leader looking mean. Level 2. Howling Banshees, which have struggled to make an impact I think from Adila, have bled him so much. But they do get away again. Almost level 3. So they have killed some stuff. Blood Crusher still alive from Patbadger, awesomely managed. And forces off that Eldar. Submarines jumping in. Without their Sergeant. Stern Guard backing them up with Hellfire rounds loaded in. Good versus light infantry and commanders. Don't want to fight Osinski CSM with it though. There is They Shall Know No Fear giving a huge damage resistance. I think it's 60% damage resistance, but they are forced to retreat. Does reduce their speed as well. That was a melter bomb on the Blood Crusher, but Assault Squad just about getting out there. Blood Crusher is under worship support. Patbadger caps Blues natural. There's the 2-1. 47379. There is a Rocks on the east side. I think by Osinski, but I'm not sure. Lots of red stuff died, but NoisyElmo didn't lose a squad. He might now though, because there's a bunch of Orks in retreat path. And he did lose a squad. Lord General gets away. He has the sniper rifle switching out from the melter guns. 47365. Can blue team hold on here? Howling Banshees with their war shout. Now in amongst heretics. These are aspiring champion heretics with a Doom Blast. Not a good fight for them, especially if Patbadger uses Touch of Nurgle. Has Chaos Terminators under Nurgle worship. No weapon for them yet. but you don't always need to upgrade your Terminators with a new weapon. So much DPS with their default twinning bolters and storm bolters. Patbadger needs to run away here. There is Pestilent Strike. And he's using it to engage. No, he's not. He's running away. And the Warp Spider's also on one. There's a double cap for the blue team. Gonna get a triple here, I think. Nob squad on the field for Illethor. Assault squad going after the weird boy. There is Frenzy. And the assault squad jump the hell out. There's another Orks. NoisyElmo has a lot of stuff here. Looks like he has avoided the worst of it. Stone Guard took a big hit though. They do get away. Almost level 2. Force Commander needs to run the hell away. Level 3, no war gear at all. 47, 273. Triple cap. Blue team coming back, storming back here. Assault Terminators though for Sam. Might want to give these guys lightning claws to deal with these knobs, because Ogrins alone is not going to cut it, and they do have lightning claws. These guys are now a melee monster with 70 DPS of splash melee, power melee damage each. Just how fast these Plague Marines die. Sorry, these are Havocs, and they die in seconds. Taking damage though from Heretics and this Blood Crusher. Level 3 Blood Crusher. Knobs chasing off Ogrins from the east side. Terminator's now in trouble here. Losing a model. They do lose some health when you give them lightning claws. Sorry, they haven't lost a model. They are disintegrating Heretics. And now they teleport out. They did lose a model in the end, but it looks like they might be able to wander back to base. Blue team flowing across the map here with the double cap, capping everything up. Storm boys in retreat. That's an Eldritch Storm in retreat path. Beautifully timed by Adila. Wow. Lots and lots of stuff died. Storm boys are wiped, and that is a huge loss. Those guys must have at least been level 3. Stone Guard veterans have lost a model. Sam retreats them. His Terminators back to base for reinforcements. Lost a lot to reinforce Terminators though. Level 4 Warboss has the heavy armor. Up to over 2,000 hit points because he has the boss pole as well. Chaos Terminators now have the autocannon. Good damage to all targets. Small area of effect, and blue team are going to get a triple cap, and surely they've won this. I don't think red team can push back here. NoisyElmo does have a hell of a lot of red, but he's not tier 3 to use a nuke. Sam, on the other hand, is just one shy of being able to drop an orbital. 47, 122. Blood Crusher needs some healing. There is some Nurgle worship. Level 2 Heretics. Plague Champion does have the icon of Nurgle. He's level 5 now. Chaos Terminator is now in that worship. Stormtroopers will try to cap, I think. And here comes a heavy turret. Red team not giving up here. Weird boy getting shots in though. Over there, throwing the knobs into the combat from the weird boy. He's a level 4 weird boy, over 1400 hit points. Knobs use Frenzy, still being knocked all over the place. Heavy turret does not last very long. There's an orbital from Sam. Can he hit anything with it? Marco's Inc. CSM walk right into it. Also grabs one Terminator, but that's not going to be enough. 47, 47. Double cap. Blue team are going to take this. Fair play to red team though. Fighting until the end. Looted tank on the field now for Illethor to rub it in. And a battle wagon for Osinski, you might have seen there. 47, 27. There's the double. Nob squad getting too close. Level 4 Nob squad. 5,200 hit points. That is scary. There's the triple, and there is the victory. Battle wagon now coming into base. Tough break for red team. Pretty much just cascaded onto them. Some couple of very nasty nukes on the east side did not help. And they started so well over there. Patbadger, I think, played extremely well, keeping his Blood Crusher around. Almost hit level 4. Plague Champion level 6. Level 4 Nob Squad is insane. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.